डर और प्यार लोगों से बुरी चीजें करवाता है।
विलेन।
ब्लॉकबस्टर जोड़ी है अपनी, मैं विलन और तू।
So let's talk about Egg Villain Returns. I watched the trailer, and obviously I think I was stunned, shocked, surprised, and now dying to watch it. I think for me the best part was the end part of the trailer. I found you and your character and Disha's character quite creepy, because normally it's always the men that get those opportunities. But this time you see the women in an Indian film where they come across quite creepy, villainous. So what I want to ask is, how fun was it to play something like this, or did you find it quite intense?
It was intense, but it was so much more fun. I think it's so much more fun to get the bad guy or the girl than it is to play your run-of-the-mill heroes or heroines or whatever you want to call them. I think both of us were so glad that we got to do that in this film. It's something that doesn't really happen very often in Indian cinema. You don't often find that many roles for female characters that are written with a slightly villainous or evil or dark sort of space attached to it. So I think I did a film recently called Tara, which again had me playing the bad girl rather, which was so much more fun. It's something I personally get drawn to. It's just more unique and unusual. It's something you haven't seen that much of, and I hope that obviously that changes as soon as possible. I think hopefully this film can pave the way for that, and things are changing in our industry, and just to be able to have a conversation about it, is a welcome change from what has been happening, since time immemorial. I think it's just been, like you said, usually the men get to have all the fun, and why should the men all get to have fun? I think we should as well, and it's been so much fun to get to do that with Disha in this film. And like you said, that the last shot of the trailer is something that you were so intrigued by, and it was so creepy, but that's exactly what we intended with that last shot. So I'm really glad that you think so.
मैंने तेरा नाम दिल रख दिया, धड़केगा तू मुझे में सदा, मैंने तेरा नाम दिल रख दिया, तेरे वास्ते कभी मेरा ये प्यार ना मत छोड़ मुझे मत छोड़.
I was going to be cheeky and ask you, can you tell me more? But I suppose I shouldn't, because we need to leave that for the audience. But one of the other things I loved about it, you have this little dialogue at the end where you called yourself a blockbuster jury, and I was just looking at your banter with Arjun, who is your co-star in the film, on social media, and you both are blockbuster socialites on social media. I think you're brilliant. I've really enjoyed seeing your exchanges with each other. You keep teasing each other. But one of the things that I really wanted to know about was, what is all this about this Ammi and Timmy Masi? Can you tell us a little bit about? I've been following you both, and I thought, right, I need to know what this is all about. And I'm sure our readers want to as well.
Yeah. Well, I have two answers to that. One is that anybody who actually knows Arjun well, and I've had the opportunity to get to know him over the last 2 years. I didn't know him before we started filming this movie, but we've become incredibly tight, very, very close. And there's this side to him he loves to talk, and everybody who knows him knows how much he loves to just keep yapping away. He brings that out in me, and I'm not a very chatty person. I'm more of an introvert. I'd like to listen more and speak less as a person, but somehow with him there's this very chatty side of myself that comes out, which is really fun, and we have the most hilarious banter every single day for the last 2 years. It's very unusual, I think. So we have this WhatsApp group that we made because we spent a lot of time when we were filming the movie, and then because of COVID, there were weeks and weeks and months where we couldn't meet each other, we couldn't shoot. So we wanted to keep in touch, and there's another mutual friend of ours that's also on this group. So the group's name is actually Pammi, Ammi and Timmy Masi, and I'm Timmy because my name starts with T, and he's Ammi because it's Arjun with an A, and this other friend of ours is Pammi because we tend to speak like these really like fun and funny aunties. This group is basically all of us sounding like these socialite aunties, which is really, really amusing and funny. And people wouldn't really imagine Arjun to be like that, but everyone watching it, he is the biggest Ammi Masi there is. And it's really amusing and lots of fun. So that's where the names come from. So I wrote it on social media recently, and everybody's been asking us, what does this mean? So that's basically where it comes from.
Oh wow, sounds like so much fun. And there's a film. I'm sure there's a film that could come out of this quite well.
I said there should be a film that's made on us, like even the BTS content that we have filmed, there can be a separate film just made on that. It's quite amazing.
Our producers watch this now. So going back to the film Egg Villain Returns, it's really difficult to tell who the villain is from the trailer. It's basically trying to say there's a villain in all of us. And obviously, you yourself have said that you're more attracted to these kind of grey characters. So what are you like in real life? Have you ever done anything mean to anybody? Do you have a grey side to yourself?
I think all of us have greyer shades to all of our personalities. It would be foolish to assume that all of us have these Hindi film heroine moments, which we really have in real life. So I think it's important to pick that in the films that we put out as well, because I think we've done enough films that show men and women in very specific, generic ways. And I think it's important to show in 2022 what we, I mean, obviously not to the extent that we show in the film, but to show that there are grey shades to people, and it's very normal and humane and basic to show that. And I think it's kind of high time that we allow is not the right word, but allow for all kinds of shades and all kinds of characterizations to be depicted in our films, because it's just more interesting and it's more real, and it's keeping it more real, which I think we need a lot more of. So I definitely do resonate with films that are thrillers and that are scary. It's the kind of genre that I've always really loved watching, and now that I'm a part of it, it's great because it's something that I really connect with and really enjoy to watch. So I love that I'm a part of this one.
मैंने तेरा नाम दिल रख दिया, मैंने तेरा नाम दिल रख दिया, धड़केगा तू मुझ में सदा, मैंने तेरा नाम दिल रख दिया, तेरे वास्ते कभी मेरा ये प्यार ना होगा कम.
Oh, fantastic. Now, you've also, for the first time ever, sung a song for a Hindi film. Your singing debut for Egg Villain Returns. How did that happen? How did that song come about? And what made you agree to sing?
Well, to be honest with you, when I was offered the film by our director, Mohit Suri, in the first meeting itself, he said that the role in the film is that of a singer, and I know that you've been singing all your life and performing all your life, so would you be open to singing all the songs in the film? So from like literally the first time that I met him, and I didn't know him before that, so the first time that I met him, he sort of put this out there, and I got so excited by it. I said yes, and I instantly wanted to go and record all the songs, and that's exactly what we did. I ended up recording the songs before we shot the film. So it was kind of interesting to be able to lip sync for a change to my own voice. And I'm actually trained in Western classical and semi-classical music. I'm not trained in Hindi music. So it was my first time singing in Hindi for myself, which was a challenge, but it was, luckily the first song that's released, which was Shamat, which was just a few days ago, has been so well received that I'm very, very pleasantly surprised. And I'm so, so grateful because I've never sung in Hindi before. So I was very nervous as to how it would be received. And so far, it's doing great. So I'm very happy.
चला है तू
Well, it's a lovely song, and even Ankit Tiwari, who I believe you're singing with, has said some really amazing things about you. How does that make you feel?
It's great. Somebody who's so loved, and his audiences give him so much love. He was most helpful. He would stand in the studio, in the booth with me, just to make me feel extra comfortable and give me all sorts of advice, which I really wanted. And it was very helpful, to get that slightly more desi sound out, which is something that I really wanted for the film and for the character. So he was most helpful.
Fantastic. Now, a little birdie tells me that you love your food. You're a proper foodie, and you also love to cook. And we've here in England at the moment, it's festival season, so we've got food festivals happening all over the country because we're blessed after ages with lovely weather. So if I was to ask you, obviously for us Desis, we like our Indian food here. What would you say is your favourite Indian food?
My favorite Indian food is definitely a really good mutton biryani. I think that's something that I can live on every day. I can have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. I don't know how to cook it yet, but I'm going to learn how to cook it. And yeah, butter chicken. It's pretty generic, but my favorite thing would be like black dal, butter chicken and biryani. That's like my go-to thing.
Oh, fantastic. They're definitely two of my favourites as well. Yeah. I can't cook them, but I've heard that you're a really good cook. But one day...
I haven't really cooked Indian food, but I'm going to start doing that. I'm doing mostly like barbecuing my food and doing all sorts of different stuff, but I need to start getting into Indian food, and I'm going to start doing that very soon.
Oh, fantastic. Well, for now, let me take this opportunity to wish you all the best for Ek Villain Returns. Thank you so much for speaking to us. It's been our absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.